Hey everyone, and welcome to Outlining the Crime. In this video, I want to provide some updates regarding the missing 5-year-old boy, Michael Joseph Vaughan, from Fruitland, Idaho. He was last seen on Tuesday, July 27th, 2021, approximately 6:30 p.m. in his neighborhood. As you've also seen from the title of this video, I'm also going to be talking more about the babysitter because there's so much speculation that she's involved in the disappearance of Michael. And then there's also the speculation that maybe the father even has something to do with this, Michael's father, and that maybe even the father and the nanny or babysitter, whatever she wants to be called, that they're possibly together or that they have something to do with Michael being gone. Now, before anyone comes at me and starts attacking, the reason why I'm bringing this up is that Fruitland Police Department emphasizes that they have not eliminated any possibilities as they look everywhere and follow every lead in their search for Michael. So yeah, the family is fully cooperating, but for those of us in the true crime world, we know that unfortunately that does not always mean that the family and or those close to the family are innocent. To me, one would think that if you're a family member or someone missing, then you would do everything possible to clear your name so law enforcement can focus on other individuals or focus in a different area. And the reason why I bring this up is it's extremely concerning that law enforcement has continued to focus their search near the family home. They've also started going back in the area and knocking on doors to ask more questions. And the biggest concern to me, they have continued to say that they still believe there may be someone out there who may know something and has not yet spoken with one of their investigators because they're unsure or perhaps even afraid to contact them. In this Facebook group I'm in for Michael Vaughan, somebody said it the best. This one sentence will explain how this video is going to go. This person said, "The babysitter has been trying to control the narrative this whole time. And this is why there's so much speculation and so much suspicion drawn on her. Right from the beginning, she came out shooting with the where, when, why, all this information about everyone else, and then kept it very quiet and private about herself, where she was, what she was doing. And then she was even contradicting herself. And as expected, this resulted in people catching her in several lies." In my last video on Michael, someone in the comments reminded me about an event. So I mentioned in my last video about how the babysitter, Jennifer, she opened up a bank account on behalf of the family. This was less than 72 hours after Michael went missing. One thing I forgot to mention though was in less than 24 hours, she created a GoFundMe account. So while everyone is worried about this little boy and finding him, she's over here focusing on money. She said the purpose for the GoFundMe was that the family would need money, quote, "at the end of this," end quote. This right here, though, led many to believe that the nanny somehow knew more because why would you make this so soon? And then a few days later, she posted that she went inside a bank and opened a bank account for the family in the family's name. She said that her name is not on it. That's not true. She did say that the GoFundMe was taking 30% and she wants the money going to the family instead. If you're not aware though, You cannot open up a bank account for somebody without proper documentation and or them being present. And she said dozens of times that her name was not on the account. However, several members called that bank and it was confirmed that it was in Jennifer's name, meaning she has access to that money. And just so you understand how organized she is about this money, she also posted that there will be lockboxes with account sheets at locations throughout the community. Does anyone else feel like she appears to be way too organized and way too focused on money? And when people were questioning why she was raising money, she lied and said that it was for search and rescue, even after many were telling her that that's not accurate. When people were calling her out for how quickly she made these fundraisers for the family, she stated that 18 years ago her son went missing and she had to pay $18,000 for a dog that assisted with finding her son. And she posted that $18,000 in that whole entire story on several occasions. Someone messaged her privately asking what happened to her son. And she said that they went camping and he wandered off for about 6 hours and she had to pay $1,800. Actually, she told several others that the amount was $1,800 and that she just recently paid it off. Does anyone else see a huge difference between $1,800 and $18,000? Like, what is the point of lying? And for those saying, well, it could be just an extra zero, if you tell the same story to several people and then you change it to a few others close to the same time frame, something's going on. But it doesn't make sense. What's the point of lying? I also want to note that no one that knows her and is or was in that Facebook group has confirmed the story. In fact, her most recent father-in-law responded to somebody saying that he doesn't know anything about her child being missing. This led to many individuals digging into Jennifer's background and looked up court documents, even using her maiden name. So when I did that, this is how we discovered that both of her sons were put in foster care and adopted. This went from, I believe, 2004 and looks like it went on until at least 2009. By using her maiden name also on Facebook, I found a post from 2004 in which she does confirm that the kids were in foster care. Several people in the group that actually live in the area have also stated that the kids were taken away because she tied the kids up at home and she went out to drink and do drugs at parties. She also allegedly tried to give them away several times, but ended up handing them over to CPS, so Child Protective Services. So several people have also asked Jennifer, where was she that day? She says Napa. She said that there was a public event going on. Several people have tried to find something going on in that area that day. Nothing that was public. When somebody asked Jennifer's mother-in-law if she could provide anything, she responded saying that it's no one's business. And she doesn't even know what Jennifer did that day or why she was in Napa. So you're telling me that here is Jennifer posting sometimes even hourly updates in the beginning where she was saying, oh, the parents were just interviewed by the FBI at this time, and then she was interviewed by the FBI at this time. This is what happened at this time, and then here's this at this time. But when it comes down to Jennifer, where were you? Were you at the home? Were you there? Nothing. She says that she gave her information to law enforcement, and that's all that she would say. And if anyone's wondering if law enforcement has been notified of her behavior on Facebook, yes, several people have notified law enforcement about this with screenshots. It's so interesting to see how Jennifer is not honest and doesn't even bother to correct herself anymore. So there was times where she did say that, he's a 5-year-old. He's never done this before. There was another time she said, this isn't usual for him. Then there was another time where she said that he has done this, and the last time was about 6 months ago, where he went out by himself, but he was immediately brought back in. When she did say that this is not normal for him, a neighbor did call her out saying, BS, I've seen that baby walking around Fruitland by himself before alone. And several others have also said that they've seen this happen as well, that they've seen him go to the park. And I don't know how far that is from where he is, but it's not a first-time occurrence. So another person asked Jennifer, so was the neighbor's claim that he's notorious for sneaking off untrue? She's asking because there's just so many conflicting stories. Jennifer responded saying, not exactly. It's just not as frequent now as it had been in the past. So which is it? It's still a conflicting story. When law enforcement also was asking for people to bring up videos, which they ended up collecting, I believe, 60 or over 60, that Jennifer herself has said both that there was a video from one of the neighbor's doorbell cameras. But then she and her mother-in-law, as well as a few other neighbors or people in the area, have made a comment that there aren't any security cameras in the neighborhood because it's such a tight-knit community, there's no need. So which is it? Is there one or is there not? From what I read even more, that there are actually at least one in that neighborhood. Why is no one being honest about this? This is a missing 5-year-old boy. Why are there so many lies about something like this? And when people were saying like the babysitter is being weird or she's acting suspicious or she's being odd, she posted something in like a third person. If you see here, she said that the babysitter, she's writing about herself. The babysitter is being looked at by everyone. She has been interviewed by the police, the FBI, and the media. Well, I mean, damn girl, you put yourself there, hello. When she walks into local businesses, they greet her with hugs and prayers for the family. She has distributed thousands of flyers via her supporters. She is holding prayer circles every night at the Fruitland City Park, every night until Monkey is found. Monkey is Michael's nickname. She is lost and completely heartbroken without her little buddy. So somebody asked, aren't you the babysitter? Or why are you talking about yourself in third person? And she said, to prove a point. I'm front and center in everything. If anyone has any questions, I'm right here. But yet, you can't count on her to give you accurate information. You can't count on her to provide you information on her whereabouts that day. And talk about yourself in third person and like that, to praise yourself. This is not about you. Why are you making it about you? She has distributed thousands of flyers. She is holding prayer circles. She is greeted by hugs and prayers for the family. What? Why are you making this about you? It doesn't make sense. So how does this lead to the dad? I'm not entirely sure how the parents know Jennifer or for how long, but from some people in the area, they have said that the dad, Tyler, has known Jennifer for quite a long time, and that he also has a drug history. Some people in the neighborhood also claim that Jennifer, she's an unstable addict and she uses meth. So when I pulled up background information on the dad, he definitely has a lot of history. The most recent that I could find was back in 2014. It was for drugs. 2006, he had several also for drugs. He had several driving under the influence. He has second offense for that as well. And even back in 2000, he had controlled substance and drug charges as well that he pled guilty on. So many believe that this is how they know each other because of their background with drugs. Some people are even saying when there was a press conference and the dad was there, they were saying that he was not showing any true emotion, that he was just there and seemed annoyed. He just wanted to leave, acting like he was concerned, but you could just tell he just didn't care. So with this, I want to bring it back to you. What do you think? Do you think the babysitter is involved with Michael's disappearance? Do you think the dad is involved with Michael's disappearance? There are several times where I wanted to show or post something about a donation or anyone wanting to help out the family, but to me, I just don't feel right about it because of Jennifer's name on the account. It just does not feel right. Several people have even reached out asking, is there something without her name on there so they can donate? That's how serious it is. But I have noticed that there have been several fundraising events and they've been very successful. One of them raised about $10,000, the other one about $8,500. It's incredible. I'm still going to follow this story. The goal here is just to get Michael back. If you guys have found this video to be interesting, please go ahead and give the video a like. And if you're into any true crime, such as this video or anything that I've previously posted, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And I'll talk to you guys on the next video.